Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith and I am at the North Carolina Transportation Museum where there is an AACA car show, and we're going to take you through, check out some of the cars. There's a tremendous amount of variety here, from brass era all the way to some muscle cars and beyond. So let's go and take a look now. Hey Ray, I'm at the AACA Car Show here at the North Carolina Transportation Museum. I walked by earlier, I saw this beautiful flathead V8 Ford truck. Had to know more about it. Tell me about it.
Well, it's took me 2 years to build it.
Okay.
I've owned the truck for about 10 now.
Alrighty.
When I bought the truck, it only had the cab and 4 fenders to work with. So.
Okay, so no hood, no bed.
No hood. The motor was in it, but it had to be rebuilt.
Okay. And when you rebuilt it, did you put in insert bearings or did you do the Babbitts?
Yes, they were insert bearings.
Okay, so
yeah.
you've got it set up to drive on the highway.
Oh yeah, it'll do keep up with traffic at 55.
All right, yeah. That sounds good. And so if it keeps up with traffic, how often do you drive it?
It's driven probably 2,000 miles a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your longest drive?
It's been to Sanford, North Carolina.
Okay, and about how many miles is that?
Whew, I don't know. That was the last AACA show I went to.
Okay.
Sanford.
Okay.
But that was a good trip for it. That was the furthest I've driven it since I had it rebuilt.
Okay, so you've owned it for 10. Took you 2 years to restore it. So did it just kind of lie dormant for 8 years, or were you searching for parts?
No, actually I've owned it for 10 years.
Okay.
And it took me 2 years to build it.
Okay.
After I had purchased it.
Gotcha.
So I've owned it for about 10 years now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So when you got it, you started working on it right away.
Yes. That's
okay.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. And the paint job is absolutely spectacular. Is this an original color?
No, it isn't. There was only about 4 colors that this year body come in.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything that really tipped me off, so I picked my own colors out for it.
Okay. Well, it looks absolutely amazing. I would have thought this would have been an original color.
Yeah.
Just
It's,
really has a nice feel to it.
Yeah, forest green and super black is what it is.
Okay. All right. And so this was a basket case when you got it.
Yes, pretty much.
Did you make the bed? Or did you find the bed?
I bought the bed as a kit and
okay.
put it together.
Gotcha.
That's what happened.
All right. And then what about the interior? Can we take a look at that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The seat actually would have been a vinyl seat, but
okay.
I preferred the the cloth seat instead because it wasn't quite so hot, you know.
Absolutely.
But
okay, so obviously 3-speed.
yes, sir.
And non-synchronous transmission.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's this right there?
That's the heater.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it had a
heater, blower motor
yeah,
type of thing?
Yeah.
All right. Wow. We're going to take a look at the dash here real quick. Got a little glove box over there, which is something I don't have in my Model A.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely missed that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this looks absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
So the bed you bought as a kit.
Yeah.
So
it comes as a kit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And boy, if I didn't know any better, that looks pretty original to me. Looks great. So I'm guessing the boards here are oak.
Yes, they
look like
oak bed. Yeah.
Looks like white oak.
Yeah.
So this V8 right here.
Yes.
That's your exhaust?
Yeah. Yeah. That's where the exhaust deflector comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that kind of stock, or is that just kind of some garnish that
that's
you?
probably an accessory.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks great though.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then the Firestone tires, obviously.
Yeah.
Those look fabulous. Are those Cokers?
Yeah,
did you get them from Coker?
Yeah, Coker makes those tires. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do. Yeah. You can get the black wall or the white walls in two. That tire comes in two different series.
Right. So 616s. This is the first year that they didn't do spokes, I think.
Yes, this is a military rim. That's
Okay.
what they call that.
All right.
It's a military.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the engine. Ford had two flathead V8s. They were different horsepower ratings. Which one is this?
This is the 223.
Okay.
Cubic engine. And
Okay.
It's actually the smaller of the V8.
Right.
But they were really good engines.
Right.
Really good engines. It's gave me no trouble whatsoever.
Obviously, with the gas tank in the back, you've got a fuel pump on this.
Yes, that's the fuel pump at the rear of it, right there at the back.
Right.
And it
And
works off the camshaft.
okay.
Yeah.
Generator up top.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So then your distributor is where?
Right here in the front,
Right.
right there is the coil on top of the distributor.
Okay.
And that's
All right. So it's not like your more modern V8s where you'd find a distributor that's kind of sitting up on the
right,
top.
and the coil's up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all. That was definitely a flathead feature for Ford
Yes.
that they did.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So absolutely beautiful car. Tell me your favorite memory in this car. I should say truck, really.
I guess purchasing it. That was. I mean, I've been looking for one for quite some time. You know?
And this specific year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the 36s, but the 38s and the 37s really stood out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes the 36 so unique?
I like the teardrop grill in it.
Okay.
They're basically the same truck. They just have different grills.
Right.
But
And this, so this is a 1 year only grill.
yeah.
Right here, the
Yeah,
36
well,
teardrop.
They used them in 38 too.
Okay.
38 also. Yeah.
All right. Is the hood different?
No, pretty much the same.
Pretty much the
Yeah,
same?
yeah.
Okay. All right. And what is unique about this truck that you'd like to share with my viewers
Oh,
that you haven't shared with me yet?
well, I don't really know.
Does the windshield move forward?
It does.
Okay. Still got the single wiper,
Yeah.
right? Any wood in the vehicle?
I guess the most unique thing about it would be the tail light at the back. It only has one tail light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
this
it
is an
doesn't have turn signals.
all steel truck. There's no
And
wood
no
in it.
turn signals. Yeah,
No turn signals. Yeah. Well, these are your turn signals.
yeah, that's right. Have to use your arm.
Yeah, got to use your arm.
Yeah.
Ray, this is absolutely a beautiful vehicle.
Thank you.
Did you have to have all of this stuff re-chromed? I'm
No,
guessing.
it's not re-chromed.
Okay.
It's all manufactured aftermarket.
Okay.
And
So how hard is it to find parts for it?
it's pretty hard. They don't make this cap anymore.
Okay.
You can't get the radiator cap for it. So pretty much everything else you can get.
Okay.
Go through early Ford places like that
Right.
sell Ford parts.
Right. Otherwise, swap meets, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. Well, Ray, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful truck here at the AACA Car and Truck Show. Really appreciate the time that it takes to just do this interview and that type of thing. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey Paul, I am at the AACA Car Show here at the North Carolina Transportation Museum, and walking by saw your beautiful 1930 Model A. Can you tell me about this car?
Yeah, this is a sports coupe.
Okay.
It's got a soft top, but it don't let down.
Okay.
The back window will come up like a Cabaret,
Okay.
but the top will not let down.
So it looks like a convertible, but it's really not.
It's really nice. It's a sports coupe.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty. And how long have you owned this beautiful car?
Probably 8, 9 years. I don't really know.
Okay.
8, 9 years.
All right. And is this your first Model A?
Well, I had one. Made a hot rod out of it years ago.
Okay.
A 29 coupe.
Gotcha.
All right.
So this one here looks to be pretty original.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
it is.
Yep.
Yes.
So you got it about 8 years ago. Did it come from Texas? Because I see a
Yeah.
Texas license plate there.
It come from Texas. It was in a museum in Texas.
Okay.
And a guy from North Carolina bought it, and he put it on Hemmings paper, you know, and I bought it off of that.
Gotcha.
I
Alright.
traded him a '85 Mercedes for it.
Okay.
I mean, and I had to give him boot too. Oh, man.
Oh my goodness. So looks like an original color paint
Yes,
scheme.
Everything's original color,
Okay.
and the wheels, I don't know what color they was originally.
Okay.
Probably that color. I don't know.
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I think
sure
they had
about
a cream color wheel
Right.
back then. So what about the interior? What's the interior look like?
Interior. Well, it done got some of my junk in it.
That's all right. That's what makes it a Model A.
But it's restored. I mean, it's been redone.
Right.
The seats have been redone. The door panels. The car probably in the early 80s or 70s is when it was done.
Okay.
Other than that, it's been original ever since.
So top doesn't come down. Looks
Top-
like
It's got the cabaret bars.
right. You got solid wood doors,
Yeah.
solid steel doors, but it
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
this is wood right here.
And it's probably wood behind it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's got wood up here,
Right.
wood up there.
Up there on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Okay.
that's wood.
All right.
It's just like a convertible, but it ain't.
Right? It's like a convertible, but it's not.
It ain't.
Okay. It looks like you got a rumble seat.
Yeah, no, it's not a rumble seat.
Okay, right back there.
That's a mother-in-law seat.
That's a mother-in-law seat. Okay.
That's where you put your mother-in-law.
All righty. Okay.
No, it's a rumble seat.
Gotcha. Well, I kind of like the mother-in-law seat thing,
Yeah,
but that's pretty
go.
cool. And so that looks like that's leather back here.
Yes, yes,
all right.
it is.
So how come leather back here, but a cloth material in the front?
Good question.
Okay.
Good question, because I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
All righty, that's fair enough.
Except maybe this was down and it gets wet or something like that.
Okay.
I reckon. I don't.
All right.
See, the mother-in-law hadn't got no roof over her head. If it rains on her.
That's right. Well, she can put her umbrella up, right?
There
Or
you go.
wear her raincoat. So you got it. Looks like you got a truck here in the back too.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that's what you call a real trunk.
Okay.
That's a real trunk.
Real trunk.
It's
yeah.
not the original trunk.
Not the original trunk, but
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the original was on it.
yeah. Well, it's still pretty no matter what.
It still looks good.
Yeah.
Still
So
looks good.
what's the top material made out of? Is that kind of like
it's
a?
like a canvas,
Okay.
but it's probably got another name.
Okay.
But it's some type of canvas.
Gotcha. And so I saw you kind of flexing the rear window. It looks like it just kind of
Yeah,
folds down.
It undoes and it goes up to the top.
Okay. All right.
The
So it goes
zipper's
up.
messed up on that side.
Gotcha. Okay. All righty. And original motor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Got a tractor motor.
it's a tractor motor.
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing as a tractor.
All righty. So you got it about 8 years ago.
Right.
And have you done any kind of restoration work to it at all?
No. No.
Okay. So pretty
Well,
much.
just clean it up.
Okay.
I did redo the wheels. I did do that.
Gotcha.
But as far as that, that's basically it.
Okay.
To replace some of the things that might have been broke.
Right.
I hadn't even changed the tires on it.
So still has the tires that's been on it for at least 8 years that you've had it,
well,
right?
It ain't no telling how long, really.
Okay. Do you drive it much?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
About how many miles a year do you drive on it?
100, 200,
Yeah.
not much. Not
So just
much.
kind of in town,
There you go.
that type of
There
thing,
you go.
right? So
Don't
did you
go
live far from the show or did you trailer it in?
I had to trailer it. It's
Okay.
about 90 miles away.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to start live. I had to leave last night to get here.
Well, that's not that bad.
uh,
All right. So what's your favorite memory, Paul, with the car?
all of them's good memories. I don't know. All of them good.
All
I ain't
of
got
them's
no
good
bad
memories.
memories.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Has it ever left you stranded?
Well, one time it got trash in the gas.
Got trash in the gas.
Yeah, and I had to figure out what it was, but it didn't strand me
Okay.
because I had a wrench and undone the gas line, blowed it out,
Okay.
and it started right back up.
And so just a little junk in the gas
In the
tank.
gas
and
tank,
just kind of
yeah.
push it away.
There you go.
Get it out of the way. There you go. All righty. Well, Paul, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful 1930 Model A. Absolutely gorgeous car.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you taking the time to just sharing this car with us and bringing it here to the car show
It
today.
does have a senior award.
Okay.
HPOF.
And what's that stand for?
That means it hadn't been restored or nothing.
Okay.
All these cars HPOF, and they got DPC, which is driver, and then they got class judging.
Okay.
It's three different types.
Okay. So yours is an unrestored car.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, again, Paul, thank you so much for just sharing that car with us. Really
Yes, sir.
appreciate your time and bringing it down here today. Looked like it was going to storm, but it didn't.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So thanks again, Paul.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Dan, I'm over here at the North Carolina Transportation Museum. This is an AACA event. Walked past your beautiful 31 Tudor, And I just got to know more about it. So tell me about your car.
Well, I did a complete restoration.
Okay.
It took about 3 years. Nights and weekends, a lot of hours in it.
Right.
But kept it as original as we could.
Okay.
Just finished it 6 months ago.
6 months ago?
So, yeah.
And you bought the car 3 years ago and almost started working on it immediately, right?
Within a few months.
Okay.
I had to make some room in the shop.
Right.
And get some space to take it apart.
Right.
Because it takes up a lot more room once it comes apart.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a model kit, just explodes all over the floor.
Yeah.
And so you said you had to make some room in the shop. So how many Model A's do you have?
I think we have 9 right now.
You have 9, right? So,
maybe 10.
okay, maybe 10. You're not sure. So is this your latest acquisition, or have you acquired one since then?
I got one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's no A addiction there, right?
No, it's like once you have so many, you think you need to get one of each.
There you go. Well, then you got a few more to go yet.
Yeah.
All right. So original motor.
Original motor.
Okay. Number matching motor. Kind of, sort of.
It's a funny story.
Okay.
So the last 2 digits on the motor are 73.
Okay.
And the last 2 numbers on the frame are 72.
Okay.
So it's 1 number off.
Interesting.
So we've had a lot of discussion whether it's someone went to lunch and came back and just put the wrong number.
Okay.
Or did they put that motor in and it was no good and took it back out and put the next one in?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So no one really knows.
That is an interesting story because I haven't heard that one before.
But it's supposedly numbers matching, even
Right.
though it's
Sure.
1 number off.
So you did the restoration. Can we see the inside?
Yep.
That is absolutely gorgeous. Now, did you do the upholstery work yourself? Did you
No.
order a kit and do it?
A
Or
friend did it.
okay,
A local guy here in North Carolina.
gotcha. Now the Tudor is kind of unique in that it's got bucket seats
Yep.
and the seats actually fold, right?
Yep.
Right? Can you show us how they fold?
Well, this other side will go all the way up. This side doesn't because of the steering wheel.
Right.
So it'll fold down and then tuck right up in there.
Right, and then that allows people to easily get into the back seat.
Yep.
Makes it really convenient. So how many miles have you put on this since the restoration?
Today we got 1,505 miles.
1,505, and you definitely drive this car,
Oh yeah.
right? So there's something kind of unique about the body that is definitely a one-off. Literally a one-off. Can you tell me about it?
Yep, we got the bullet hole.
Right there. Bullet hole. And do you know the history behind that?
Yeah, so the guy I got the car from, I guess when they were kids, ended up shooting the car when him and his brother were messing around with a rifle.
Okay.
While their dad was plowing the field with it.
Oh, so this was a tractor at some juncture.
Yeah,
And the kids decided to shoot at their dad.
I think it was an accident,
Okay.
but they're very grateful that they're still alive.
Sure. Yeah. So double spare, that's kind of unique.
Yep. We found Duplex had made that accessory for Ford back in the late 20s or early 30s.
Okay.
And we found one and had our machine shop guy make us a set
Okay.
based off the original.
Yeah, that's, I don't know that I've ever actually seen one live. I know about them, but I've never actually seen one. So that is really, really cool.
Yep. And they tuck in there nice where it don't look too bulky.
No, not at all. What's your favorite memory with this car?
I haven't been done long. I guess the favorite memory right now is just getting it.
Just getting it, right?
Pulling it out of the barn.
And you're working on a Mark Point car right now, right?
Yes.
And what kind of car is that?
That's a 29 two-door.
Okay.
It's a May car.
Okay.
That one I have the chassis about done,
Okay.
and the motor's done.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I am right now on that one.
Right.
So
this is a beautiful restoration, but a fun driver.
fun driver. Kept it as original as possible. But not so original that we wouldn't want to drive it.
Right. And that's really what Model A's are all about, right? Having fun, driving them.
You got to drive it. You got to slow people down on the highway.
Yeah. So, everybody usually asks a Model A owner, how fast do they go? So I'm going to throw that out there. How fast have you driven it?
This one's been up to 54.
54. You got to remember you got to stop 54 on an incline. That's pretty good. You got a high compression head in there?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Wow. That's really, really good. No Mitchell overdrive, nothing like that.
No.
Wow, that's amazing.
But we usually keep it around 40 or 45.
Yeah, that's kind of the sweet spot for A's.
Yep,
for sure. Well, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to just share this with so many of our viewers. This is a beautiful car, and you got judged earlier. It looks like you got the Autolite heater manifold. You have the whole, yep, you got that. Absolutely beautiful car. Thank you so much for taking the time to share that with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Wayne, I'm over here at the AACA Car Show at the North Carolina Transportation Museum. It's a beautiful day. I was afraid it was going to rain, but obviously that's held off. And I saw your beautiful 30 Tudor. Tell me about it.
Well, I bought it, went to the large animal vet, and next door, sitting next to a dumpster, was the body, and everything else was inside the body. The frame was inside the guy's shop, and I bought it for $4,000, and I put it together for my dad because he always wanted one. And after he left us, I got it, and I built it from parts.
So this was a dumpster find. You were dumpster diving. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was right next to it. Yeah.
All right. So you dumpster dived this Model A, and how long did it take you to restore?
About 2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years, and you did it from the ground up.
Yep.
Were these the original colors?
When I got it, it was black.
Okay.
It had probably been repainted. But
okay. And it's absolutely a beautiful color. Tell me what color blue this is.
Andalusite blue with an aurora red stripe.
Okay. And obviously on the black on the bumpers and the top half of the car.
Yep.
So when you did the restoration, did you sew your interior? Did you have it manufactured?
No, I had it manufactured. From,
okay.
There's the new one, Plastique, and I can't think of the old one.
Right.
Cartouche.
Cartouche, yeah. That's right. They've unfortunately gone out of business.
Yep.
Can we see the inside of it?
Yes. And if you see the switch on the shifter, that is for the turn signals.
Okay. right there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so that's really different.
Everybody thinks it's for a 2-speed rear. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is that overdrive? But it's for your turn signals.
yes.
So I guess it toggles left and right.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
And it's got a nice loud horn or
Beep.
squeaker in there, beep, yeah.
Beep.
Okay. All right,
And I have the turn signals on the
in the cowl lights.
tail lights and the tail lights.
Okay, so you're still 6 volt.
Still 6 volt.
All right, so
positive
6
ground.
volt bulbs all the way around.
Yep, LEDs now.
Okay.
They're much brighter.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's all about safety and people can see you. So what's the longest drive that you've done?
We've gone to the Outer Banks twice. We've gone to New Bern. We've gone to the mountains. We've gone all over. Probably
so
about
you
900
driver.
miles. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but how many miles a year do you drive?
Oh, probably 1,500, 2,000 maybe.
Okay, all right. And there's obviously plenty of room to put whatever you need to put in the back, but we've got this. We've got this right here. Now, tell me about that trailer.
That's an all-state trailer. I bought the frame at Hershey for 40 bucks.
For $40.
Yes.
Okay.
And nobody,
I
I
would
don't
love
think anybody else knew what it was.
I would love to find one of those for 40 bucks.
And
Oh my goodness.
cut a tree, red cedar tree
Okay.
down in our property.
All
And
right.
a guy saw it, and I made the top part of the trailer.
So-
on the wood.
This is really unique in that it's a single tire,
Single wheel trailer. yeah.
right? So how does this pull?
Oh, you can't even tell it's behind you.
Really?
Yep.
And does it make people nervous when they're behind you?
Doesn't seem to.
Okay.
And it's a lot better than having all the luggage in the back seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is waterproof,
Okay.
so I can put all our luggage in there, my tools in there. We have 2 lawn chairs in there now, and it's just great.
And when you go to store it, do you store it like that, or do you store it vertically?
Well, I just have been leaving it on the car.
Okay.
Because it fits in our garage like it is.
Oh, perfect.
And, it's difficult to move because it's a single wheel.
Yeah. Okay. That is spectacular. And so you did the restoration. Can we see under the hood?
Well, I got a leaky water pump.
Okay,
but,
that's all right. That's part of the Model A adventure.
But pretty much stock.
Yeah. Do you have a high compression head on it?
Yes, high compression head.
And it looks like you've got stainless exhaust system.
Yep, Aries.
Okay. Yep. That's great. Got to get you one of them leakless water pumps.
I've got the kit at home. I just have to do it.
There you go.
I did put this on this morning.
Okay.
The leather cover.
Yeah.
It keeps it from
Spraying
splattering.
all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice thing about a Model A is they're easy to fix. I mean, you can break down on the side of the road and
Yeah.
generally in 10 or 15 minutes get going again,
Yes.
which is really rare.
It's happened.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me too. I get it. So, what's your favorite memory with the car?
Oh, probably when I took my dad for a ride.
Okay.
He was not feeling too well that day, but we were able to drive him around, and he was really happy. I have
Yeah.
a picture of him sitting with me on the running board. It
Oh,
was
I bet that's
really great.
That's a fantastic memory to have. How did Dad like the ride?
He liked it.
Yeah.
He was really happy.
Smiling from here to
Did
here.
it bring
Yeah.
back memories?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So definitely a driver. Looks like at one point this had heat,
Yep. I have a little thing that fits over the manifold.
right?
And in the winter, it saves my wife from being cold. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
He just forgot to tell me not to touch it to close it. That's a girl mistake.
Yeah. Well, you only make that mistake. That's a guy mistake too. And you only make that mistake
Ouch.
once.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, this is absolutely a beautiful car, Wayne. I really appreciate you taking the time to share that with me. Man, if you had to do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Buy another one and have 2 instead of just 1.
I'm trying to convince my wife of that, but I don't know. That's going to be a tough one, man. I'd love to get a Tudor. That's my ultimate goal. Just an absolutely beautiful car. So Again, Wayne, thank you so much for sharing this with our viewers. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Ed, I'm over here at the AACA Car Show that's being held at the North Carolina Transportation Museum. Walked by this beautiful Durant. Can you tell me about it?
Well, actually, it was built by Durant. It's actually a Star.
Okay. So it's a Star built by Durant, 1926. How long have you had it?
Just a little over a year.
Okay. All right. And I noticed that it's got wooden spoke wheels.
Right.
Right. What kind of engine does it have?
It's a 4-cylinder Continental.
Okay. Can we see under the hood?
Sure.
So 4-cylinder Continental, looks about the same size as a Model A engine or so, Model T engine. How many horsepower does it have?
I really don't know.
Okay. And looks like this is kind of a touring car.
Correct.
Do you know if this is like the original color?
I think it is.
Okay. Kind of an original paint scheme.
Yeah.
Looks like it's beautifully restored. I assume that you said you only had it a year, so you acquired the car
Right.
kind of in this kind of shape. Do you drive it at all?
Oh, very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
So trailer it mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when I look at cars like this, do they have a lot of wood in the substructure?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The whole substructure is wood.
Okay. And so kind of like sheet metal that's nailed to the wood
Yeah.
type of thing. And so you got to make sure that the wood is in good shape, right?
And all the frames for the doors, everything's wood.
Right. Right.
Everything except the main chassis.
The main chassis, right? So that's still steel. Okay. Notice that the steering wheel is on the left-hand side, like this car that was sitting over here. This steering wheel is on the right side, or what would be the passenger side now. What about as far as stick shift and that type of thing? Does it have that? And
3-speed in the floor.
okay, and probably non-synchro mesh.
Correct.
So you have to double clutch.
Double clutch.
Okay. What about starting? Does it have an electrical start?
Electric starter.
Okay. And is this a 6-volt system?
6,
or
yeah.
positive ground or negative ground?
Positive ground.
Positive ground. Okay. Can we take a look inside see the inside, the interior?
Sure.
Okay. So I noticed door handles aren't on the outside, they're on the inside. And so you got the little starter button on the floor right there.
Correct.
And the gas pedal,
gas pedal.
right? Controls up here, does that operate your timing advance?
Timing and
throttle?
throttle.
Okay. Alrighty. And do you ever tour with the top up? No, do you just keep the top down?
Keep the top down.
Right. Now, type of windows, what would be on here? They'd be like curtains?
Yeah, side curtains,
Right.
like on Model Ts,
Okay.
A models.
Alrighty. And what's your favorite memory with this car?
Well, I hadn't had it long enough, really.
Yeah?
My dad originally had it, and this was way before my time.
Okay.
It was before he got married, even.
Alright.
He ended up had 2 1924 stars,
Okay.
and one of them he had ended up cutting it down and made a doodlebug, you know.
Okay.
And
Kind of like a little farm truck
right,
type of thing.
and then I came along, and that's what I learned to drive, was that 24 star that had been chopped down.
Okay.
And I've always wanted one, and finally about a little over a year ago, I finally stumbled across this one.
Gotcha. So this is kind of a memory type of thing for you,
Yeah.
for you, and remembering your dad and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. I get that. That's pretty cool. So so you do have some sort of memory that can go along with that. Do you have the side curtains for this?
No.
No. Okay. And what else makes this car unique to, say, a Model T?
Well, a Model T has the different transmission. This
Right.
has a standard transmission.
Standard transmission.
I don't know.
Okay. And then brakes, does it have brakes all the way around or just the rear?
Just the rear.
Just the rear. Gotcha. And so you said it was electric start, but it looks like there's a hole down here. Does that mean you can crank start it if you need to?
You could,
Okay. Alrighty.
but I don't have a crank.
Gotcha. And so how long were stars manufactured?
22 through 28, I believe.
Okay. So not very long. It looks like probably the Depression
Right.
kind of sunk them. This is absolutely beautiful. Are the wooden spokes made out of ash?
I think so. I
Okay.
don't know for sure.
Alrighty. Well, James, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to just sharing the car here at the car show and telling me a little bit of information about it. I really, really appreciate that.
Basically, all I've done to the car since I had it was I resanded all the wheels and refinished them and
Okay.
put a new set of tires on it. And
There you go.
that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Well, it looks gorgeous. Thanks again for bringing it to the car show.
Okay.
Alrighty. Andy, I'm here at the AACA Car Show event that's being held at the North Carolina Transportation Museum here in Salisbury, North Carolina. And I saw this beautiful 1930 Chrysler and just had to talk to you about it. Tell me about your car.
Well, this is a 1930 Model 66 Chrysler.
Okay.
Businessman's coupe.
Businessman's coupe. Okay.
Yes, basically all original.
Alrighty.
with one paint job many years ago and some interior work.
Okay. So unlike the Model A, I noticed right away that you've got like brown fenders. Was that kind of common for?
They had many colors.
Okay.
I don't know if this was original to this car.
Okay. But it's a beautiful color scheme.
Yes, it's the way it came when I purchased it.
Gotcha. And how long have you owned it?
About 10 years now.
Okay.
When I got it, it was not running, but it was in pretty much this shape.
Okay.
I had
All
to
right.
redo the fuel system, had to redo the brake system. This is one of the very early cars that had hydraulic brakes.
Yeah, I actually see that right here. You can see that flux hose going right there to the wheel. So
Yep, I had to
Chrysler was
replace
already
those.
doing that when Ford was still doing
Yes.
mechanical.
Yep, and Ford did it for about 10 more years mechanical before they switched over.
Right. And so how does it stop?
Stops fairly well, but just the age of the car,
Sure.
The brakes weren't that great, whether they were hydraulic or mechanical.
Right.
So,
And single reservoir, I'm
yes,
guessing.
it's a single reservoir under the floorboards.
Right.
I had that rebuilt. I had all the wheel cylinders rebuilt.
Okay.
Fortunately, the brake drums were still good because I haven't found a source for those. And the brake shoes were still good.
Okay. So you mentioned you hadn't found a source. So how difficult is it to find parts for this?
Very difficult.
Okay.
Unlike the Model A's that you mentioned earlier, where
Right.
you can order just about anything from a catalog, these basically you have to have parts made.
Okay.
I'm needing to have a timing chain made now, and then I've also got to have a gasket set made because you can't buy them.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So that's the challenge when it comes to
yes,
owning something like this, but it's
challenge to keep them running.
yeah. So I can see that. So speaking of running, you've got the hood open. Tell me about what's under the hood.
Well, this is a 218 cubic inch 6-cylinder
Okay.
engine. It's the original one to the car, as far as I can tell. The serial number on the engine is in the serial number range that were in these cars.
Okay.
And it was a 1-year only engine, which causes additional problems finding parts.
Yeah. I can see where that can be a challenge. What about the interior?
The interior has been redone
Okay.
before I purchased the car.
Alrighty. And can we see inside it?
Yes, you can. It's had very few updates. They added turn signals, but everything else is pretty much original, including the wiring, which is a little scary at times.
Okay.
The floorboards are still all original, wooden floorboards. And it's a 3-speed manual
Okay.
transmission,
Right.
no synchronizers. So it's
So a lot of double clutching.
yes.
Yep. I can see that.
It's hard to downshift these things.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It takes a
Takes a finesse that
I get it.
people don't have, including me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. So the Model A's had a lot of wood in them. How about this?
This is all wood. If you look at the doors,
Okay.
you can see this is all wood. You can see where the sheet metal has been nailed to the wood frame.
Okay, so you got to make sure the wood is in good shape, or
Yes.
or you got to be
Yep.
pretty handy with wood.
Yep, you can see all the trunk lid, everything. It's all wood.
Okay.
You
Yep.
can see where the sheet metal was nailed to it.
So a wooden skeleton, sheet metal nailed to it, kind of
Yep.
like the Model A 4-doors.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And then I noticed, the open
Yes, the open roof
type
with
of roof.
the
Yep.
fabric covering.
Yep. Kind of the way all the cars were done back then. Yep.
Mhm.
So trunk, not a rumble seat, right?
No, it's a trunk. It was a businessman's coupe. It was a commercial
Okay.
type of vehicle. Some of this is still original. The floor mat in here. This
Okay.
is the original floor mat.
Oh wow.
So
And one of the things that I noticed are the turn signals. Are these turn signals right here?
yes, they're brake light and turn signals.
Okay. Was that factory?
That one was factory.
Okay. And then
Somebody found another one and added it before I got the car. And,
Gotcha.
And added turn signals to the car
Okay.
to make it a little bit safer to drive.
sure.
Um,
And then it looks like you've got a gas tank in the back end.
Yes, the gas tank's there. The sending unit for the gas tank is over here.
Okay.
So it has an electric sending unit.
And probably got a fuel gauge then up at the dash.
Yes, it has a fuel gauge at the dash.
And so with the gas tank being here in the back, it's got to have a fuel pump.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And we can look at that if you'd like. I'll open that side of the hood here.
Okay.
Momentarily. There's your fuel pump. And this is an updraft carburetor.
Okay.
And
6-cylinder.
6-cylinder.
Yep.
68 horsepower, which is more than the Model A, which was 40 horsepower.
Right. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it gets down the road. The Model 66, I'm told the 66 stood for the car being able to do 66 miles an hour.
Okay. All right.
I wonder about that.
You still got to stop 66 miles an hour.
35 to 40 is more comfortable with it.
And about how many miles a year do you drive?
Probably 30, 40 miles a year.
Okay, so you don't really drive it that much.
No, because of the problem with finding parts.
Sure.
And repairing it if you break something.
Yeah, obviously, I can appreciate that. So another thing that I noticed, wooden spokes.
Yes, those are the original wooden wheels as far as I can tell.
Okay, and so were they made out of ash?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely gorgeous. So what's your favorite memory with this car?
Just getting it and driving it.
Yeah.
And enjoying taking it out. And I enjoy taking it to shows.
Okay.
And just letting other people look at it and enjoy it.
Right. Well, your wife told me that she has the better of the two cars. Is that true?
She does.
She does? And what's her car?
1961 Thunderbird convertible.
Okay.
That I restored about 15 years ago.
All right. You probably get out and drive that a little bit more than 30.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So I can appreciate that. I can understand why she feels that way.
Yep.
That's awesome. So, Andy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Andy, thank you so much for taking the time to just share your beautiful car with everybody here at the AACA Car Show. But thank you for sharing it with our viewers too. I really appreciate it.
Yep. You're welcome.
Be sure to check out these suggested films and learn even more about the automobile industry. Have a wonderful day and be blessed.